Hi, I'm Libby Winters.
And I'm John Gallagher Jr. And this is the story of our first date.
Well, we met doing American Idiot. We first met, was it 2008 that the very first workshop?
That was the first workshop in the springtime, yeah.
Yeah. I knew of John from Spring Awakening. I had seen Spring Awakening and I knew like you were the guy from that. But like someone had told me, they're like, oh, I've heard about John Gallagher Jr. I've heard that he's like kind of stuck up. And I was like, cool. And so I remember going into it being like, this guy's, I think he's kind of stuck up. And then I remember the first time I ever had a conversation with you, we rode the train home from rehearsal one day because we both lived in Brooklyn and we were both on the F train.
Right.
And I was like, I'm stuck on the train with this stuck up guy. I've got to talk to him the whole time. But then I remember being like, I think he's just shy. Yeah, I think he's just awkward and shy.
In my defense.
Yeah, I think someone just misinterpreted you being a little awkward.
I've been misinterpreted my whole life.
Yeah, you're so misunderstood, babe.
I always thought Libby was super cool. It wasn't like I was like, hey man, I just got crushed on this girl from day one. But I remember in that workshop being like, oh, Libby like is going to cool concerts and there was one moment I remember where Michael Mayer was like, we need like a distorted vocal for this one song. We need something.
And like a megaphone.
Libby was like, I'll bring in my megaphone. And Michael was like, thanks, Libby. Libby, why do you have a megaphone?
We were not a showmance. We were both in other relationships throughout that whole process. And then we didn't start dating until like a year and a half after the show had closed.
Yeah.
We were all still hanging out, like a bunch of cast people were hanging out. And then, yeah, like late summer of 2012, we just started hanging out more and more. And then we started hanging out one-on-one. And then it was sort of like, oh, I guess I'm dating John Gallagher now. And that was weird. It was weird because I had known you for so long and we'd been friends for a long time and I kind of had never like really thought of it that way. And then we just like kept hanging out and I kept being like, kind of wanted to, what am I gonna do tonight? Guess I just gonna hang out with John.
Our first date was almost unintentional. It was just like a summer night where like neither of us had anything to do and we kind of walked around in the West Village and we walked over to the Hudson River.
You know what I was thinking? Was this the time that I was like, I'm gonna go for a walk? And you were like, can I come? Was it a time that I was like, I'm going for a walk by myself, and you're like,
and I invited
should we walk
myself
together? Wasn't there a time that happened?
It might have been. I don't know.
I don't know if this was that time or not. Anyway,
I don't remember how we got
on the walk
there.
Yeah,
but we were walking.
We were going for a walk.
It's a nice summer night.
Yeah,
walking down by
on the West Side Highway.
On the West Side Highway.
Yeah.
And we walked down and found that there's like a little mini golf spot down there on the water, and we were like, should we play a game of mini golf? And they were like, yeah, why not?
Well, no, we were like, oh, I love mini golf, and you're like, oh yeah, it's so fun. We're like, oh, fun. Well, should we turn around? And then we like walked back, and then halfway through we were like, I really like mini golf, and it was like, well, should we play? And we're like, oh, let's go back. And then we turned around and went back.
I don't recall the false.
Oh, we did. We had a total false start. Yeah, we were both like, oh, mini golf, wow, cool. Yes, let's go home. And then we turned around and then we went back and we're like, should we play? I think because we were sort of like, that's like a couple-y thing, that's like a datey thing to do.
Maybe we were trying to
and we were like, we're just hanging out on a walk as friends. And then we were like, well, let's just play mini golf as friends.
Yeah.
But we were really trying to think of like what our first date was.
Yeah, because it's hard to pinpoint one exact moment where it was like, this is now, because it kind of it was this kind of slow rolling thing. It felt like, but that is, I do remember that we both remembered that night as being a night of being like, oh, it feels now like this is a thing that people that go on dates do. Like this feels like an accident. It was like an accidental date.
Yeah, it was.
And I could be wrong about this, but I feel like we got the exact same score.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
I feel like when we tallied up the score, we were like, well, we had the exact same amount of swings.
Meant to be.
And that's when I knew.